Thanks for clicking on Just Beast Fitness. I'm your trainer Jasper Bravo. Today we are training our chest. This is a chest session for those people who want to train their chest, for the natural bodybuilders. Now on this workout, I'm going to take you through my session on how I just take very short time to train a chest and leave the place feeling so much pumped, having that 3D shaped chest that we all want. And as you know, always, if you want to have that awesome looking aesthetic body, chest is one of the predominant body parts that you really need to focus on to have that look. Because when you just, anytime you get into a room, the first part of your body that tends to come forward is your chest. People see your chest first, so you want it grown bigger. So always on my chest day, I just have to warm up with some pull-ups. I don't know about you, but that's what I do personally. The day that I train chest, I warm the opposite muscle. So I choose to warm the back by having some 2 or 3 sets of pull-ups that are done to failure. That is to about 10, but today I've decided to just do 1 set. Then I head direct to inclined. My first chest workout is going to be inclined dumbbell press, and I'm starting with some 30 kilograms. Today is that day that we just want to go heavy a little bit. It's that day that there are usually that occasional days that you just want to go as heavy as possible and still having that great pump. We don't have to go too heavy that we can go for at least, let's say, 6 reps. When you can go for less than 6 reps, that is just too heavy. So today I'm at least aiming for 6, which I was able to do with that. That was 40 kgs by the way. That is not 30 kilograms. And yeah, that was good enough. I have to go now to a smaller one, just to drop set a little bit. Now I've decided to pick some 30 kilograms just to allow me to get some extra reps, you get, because I want to get that awesome pump from the first set. So when I've noticed that the weight is just not allowing me to go to enough number of reps, I'd rather just go for a lighter weight. Because you know, we need to know one thing, that we need to get to know your target, the reason why you get to the gym. Like right now, we are training not for strength really or power, but we're training for the muscles. We want to train for hypertrophy, that is the ability to help us grow bigger muscles. And when you want to grow bigger muscles, of course, you need to have a certain range of motion and a certain number of reps, and that is high number of reps. So I'm supersetting that with some flies, inclined dumbbell flies, just to allow me to have that longer range of motion, of time and attention. And then number 2, this one also helps me to train the muscle while tired. It helps me shock the muscle, because you know, sometimes your muscle, especially when you're done doing a set, your body is used to resting as you wait for the next set. But sometimes it's okay to shock it by heading direct to a different workout that is hitting the same muscle, but now from a different angle. That one always will shock the muscle, and you'll still have a little bit of power to do that. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do right here. That's what I'm trying to achieve with this one. So I do the normal press, then immediately I superset it with some flies. And I want you to notice that my flies go all the way down. I get that stretch, because if you're interested in growing bigger muscles, that is hypertrophy, you need to concentrate on having that muscle well stretched when you're working it out, because the stretch part of the muscle is super important as far as hypertrophy is concerned. So you don't want to go for those partial reps, because it's really not important. It's important, yes, but it will not give you everything you need to get from your workout. So if your aim is to get that awesome big chest to grow, then you need to just do that. You need to go for the stretch, all the full range of motion. Then immediately after that, we go for some lower chest workout, and that is some dips, but these are not weighted. These are just body dips, just to make sure that we have that longer time and attention. Now we go to the next set, but right now we've decided to start this set, now the second set, without doing the dumbbell press. That is just to shock the muscle, by the way. the body feels like we need to do a little bit of those flies, since that's what's feeling alright. There's just sometimes that you start working out and some workout just feels more alright than others, and that's the one we choose to go for. So right now I've just decided to do another set of the flies, but with a little bit of a lighter weight. This is 15 kilograms, and as you can notice, I'm stretching all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. As you can notice, that is just to allow me to have that stretch on the chest on the inclined. Then I will superset it immediately with some dips, and I want you to notice that the dips are, I go all the way down on the lower side, then on the upper part I don't really complete. There's a reason for that. That is so that on the lower side I want to stretch that chest so much so that all the work is done by the chest, not the triceps. That's why also I don't complete on the top. Now I'm going to the next set. That is the third set of flies, and right now I'm using 20 kilograms of weight just to do that. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now, and the weight feels super awesome, so that's why I go for it. And you know, sometimes when you go for the 15 kgs it feels really heavy and you can't go for the next one, but right now what I'm feeling is I have that power to go for a heavier weight and still maintain a higher rep range. That is at least 10 reps, and that is what is good for hypertrophy. So I want you to notice that also most of my sets, if not all of them, tend to end in failure. I don't like to leave my workouts halfway. I try to get to failure so that I just leave everything on the table. Then I'm supersetting it again with these dips. This is the third set, by the way, of this workout, and already the chest is feeling so much pumped. I want you to understand something, that sometimes you don't really need to go for so very many sets. Just like in that case, we are done with those 3 are enough. So you just need to go to the next workout, because already as long as you go for that failure and you push yourself enough, you don't need so many sets. You don't need those 10, 15 sets. So we go next to the next workout, which is going to be inclined barbell press, and we are starting with, this is 80 kgs, by the way. It's not that heavy, it's 80 kilograms, and here also we are trying to get on at least 10 reps or to failure, that is. And as you can notice, we managed to go for about 5 reps. So we have decided to drop set and try to go for a higher rep range, because sometimes you can overestimate your strength, and that will make you notice that the weight that you're loading is just too much. And when that happens, it's okay to reduce the weight and just continue, because it depends with your level of recovery and how strong you're feeling that day. So that's why we decided to reduce the weight, and right now this one feels better, and you're fully feeling that chest really, really well. So that one is the first set. That is like the 4th set of a workout for the chest, and then we superset it with this flying workout. This is called pec deck machine, and this is the type of flying machine we have in this gym. It's quite old school, but it still get the job done. So I try to superset it with it so that to have that stretch on the chest. And the difference between this one and the dumbbell flies is that with this one the tension is retained all the way until where you're squeezing your arms together, unlike the dumbbells, where when you do the flies, when you are at that point where your arms are just about to get close to one another, that's the point where you notice that there isn't any tension anymore. So this one helps to fill in that part that remains. You just need to, because you need to be strong throughout, and that part of the muscle or the part of motion that you don't train, you get to be weaker on, and you just don't want that. So just to have a mix of both, you usually like to do both the dumbbell flies and these pec deck machine flies, just to help us with balancing both the stretch part and also this part where the arms come close together. I hope that one makes sense. So this is This is we're aiming for high reps, by the way. And I want you to understand that as a natural bodybuilder, I think there's something about doing really high reps. It really hits so hard. You just, of course, you don't need to do that all the time. You can always mix it up. Sometimes average range of motion. Sometimes you go for high, low, sometimes medium. Now, after that, we're going for some flies, some push-ups, the incline push-ups. We do this just to help us get everything out of the tank. Many people don't do push-ups, but this is one of my favorite workouts, especially during my chest workouts, because there's a way in which the push-ups usually hit the chest in a way that other workouts don't, especially if you superset it with another heavier workout, or if you use it towards the end, or even as a form of warm-up at the beginning of your workout. It will really serve you so much. It's a very powerful movement, and it's very good because it helps you with that control and confidence, with the fact that you can carry your body around, which I think is a flex. Now this is how the pump looks. Can't you see how that just looks so much pumped, right? That was about a total of 6 sets of workout, and the chest feels good enough. You don't need so many sets. As long as you're really pushing yourself, 6 sets is good. In fact, 6 to 10 sets is good for the whole week. So since we don't hit our chest once, we are high frequency trainers, we tend to just do 6 or even less per session, because we're going to train the chest twice, thrice, or even 4 times throughout the week. So just to allow it to recover, we always don't go for so many sets. And yeah, that's how the body is looking right now. This is a bulk session, by the way. We are still bulking. This is a year of bulking. So this is how it looks, and we feel we need to add some food. We need to eat more, because the rate at which we're adding weight, because right now I think I'm weighing about, is it 67, and that is quite light for me, considering we started at 58, and we are 7 months into the bulk. So that is not quite a good rate of gaining weight, which means I think we are still not eating enough, and we are going to work on that. So if you enjoyed that video, let me see you in the next one. You can subscribe and like this video, and see ya.